Let's roll, nerds.
Recall matter of Kayla Johnson, 23907. And counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Lee, on behalf of my client, this time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, Ms. Johnson, your name, please.
Kayla Johnson.
Okay, and today your client is currently on probation for operating while visibly impaired. She was sentenced on June 28th. So last on July 5th, she tested positive on the SoberLink on July 5th and also on July 7th for alcohol, it indicates. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, my client understands that a hearing could be held in which there would be a contest of the results, and that will not be necessary.
All right, ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
All right, and so, ma'am, you heard the plea that was placed on the record, correct?
Yes.
As to the allegations that you tested positive for alcohol on July 5th and July 7th, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you've gone over your advice of rights for probation purposes with your attorney, correct?
Yes.
And you understand those rights?
Yes.
And you also understand by entering the plea, you will not have a contested hearing, correct?
Yes.
And you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, correct?
Yes.
Specifically, the recommendation is for you to continue and complete all terms of probation, 5 days jail, and an additional 45 days on the alcohol tether after you've completed your SoberLink time, correct?
Yes.
And knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea.
Yes.
Has anybody promised or anything, threatened you or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No.
All right, counsel, if you could please run to your client.
Yes, I'd like to detract your attention back to July 5th and July 7th. Did your SoberLink test indicate the use of alcohol?
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violations. Probation violation 1 indicates technical violation number 1 will enter. And counsel, as to the recommendation.
Your Honor, I just asked that at this time the jail time be suspended, giving my client an opportunity to demonstrate full compliance.
Ma'am, what is it you consumed on July 5th?
It was a plate of chicken. It was like chicken breast or chicken tender, but it was like her own sauce that my neighbor made.
That contained alcohol?
Yes. She said she marinated it with Jack Daniel's whiskey, and then she made the barbecue sauce with something else. I don't even know what the name was.
Okay, and so did she tell you that when you were eating it?
No, when she had first came up to me, I was in my garden, and I had I'm never ever home July 4th because I had worked the night shifts, and she told me that she'd be barbecuing, and if I wanted a plate, I could come grab some, and she'd have stuff for the kids. And I went over, grabbed my plate, and she said she gave enough for my cousin, and I said okay. I had some that night, and then when my SoberLink went off, I called the EMS place. They told me that everything was working just fine. I said okay, because on my end it's acting weird. And then the next night, the SoberLink had did the same thing, but that was also after I had had the leftover. I ate the remainder of the chicken because my cousin had told me he didn't want any more.
Okay, then what about July 7th, ma'am?
That was the day of so when the SoberLink thing went off, that was for my last testing of the night. when it went off, it said every 15 minutes to take a test. And it kept doing that over and over until it went into the next day. So it was just the next night when I had sat down right before bed and I ate that food and the test kept going. It was just the day after the next.
Okay, well, that's 2 days later. July 5th was the first one, and then 2 days later was July 7th.
No, I'm saying that the next night, my last testing is at 11. The testing rolled over into it saying it was the 7th.
Okay.
It was like
And so, ma'am,
12:15 or 12 something when the last test was stopped.
okay. And so you didn't taste any of the alcohol, anything?
It didn't taste like alcohol.
Ma'am, here's the thing. You're on probation for operational visibly impaired, which was reduced from a high VAC, which you had a 0.34, and no WI. And so it is your responsibility before you consume anything that somebody else makes to know what's in it. Because the other people aren't serving the penalty for violating probation, you are. And if you were to test today, ma'am, what would be detected in your system?
Hopefully nothing.
Well, if something showed up, what would it be?
It would just be marijuana.
When's the last time you used marijuana?
I want to say a month ago.
Do you have a valid prescription for marijuana?
When I had first went through all this, I was looking for my card. I'm still waiting for my appointment to redo it. And that's why I
The
stopped.
answer is no, you don't have a valid prescription, correct?
No, I do not.
Okay. So here's what the court's going to do, ma'am. Given what your level was at the time of this incident, and now you have two positive tests, and you were only on probation for a week before the first test, the court's going to adopt a recommendation. You're to continue to complete all terms of probation. You are to serve 5 days jail. When you are out of jail, you are to complete your original 30 days on the sober link, and then an additional 45 days on an alcohol tether. And in fact, what I'm going to indicate though is that all of those days will be on the alcohol tether.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I wasn't on probation for just a week.
You were sentenced on June 28th. And then
I thought that I had already been on probation from the very first court trial.
No, ma'am, the court had you on sober link as a condition of bond because of your alcohol level.
Okay.
All right, then you can report tonight for that jail term.
What am I going to do about my house and everything?
Yeah, would it be possible to have a report date? My client would just need to make some necessary arrangements for her dwelling and potentially other avenues of her life. She hasn't been a flight risk. We asked for a report date.
Is Friday sufficient, ma'am?
I guess.
Okay, July 28th. Please email in to Ms. Shine and she'll give you the reporting instructions, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, the balance of probation and conditions are to continue. All right,